Good afternoon guys, this is Tina. In this video, I'm gonna show you the last way to do the configuration in Spring. Originally, I'm thinking to postpone using the annotation, but in certain scenario, in the future lecture, I probably still need to using annotations. So I have to introduce now. For annotation, this as we know, Spring has three ways to do the configuration, right? The first way is the XML, and the second way is annotation, which is added in Spring 2.5. The last one is called Java config using Java classes, which is added in Spring 3. But actually, we only has two ways. Because for annotation, you cannot use alone. You must use annotation with XML or you use annotation with Java config. Because you must have some way to tell Spring how to find those classes using Spring annotations. Okay, and let me show you some hands-on experience. I'm gonna continue using the Spring Core this project. I don't want to create another one, okay? But I'm not gonna touch those existing files. I want to leave it there so you have a reference if you need in the future. And I'm gonna create another package which is called Annotation. So all the annotation files or configurations you can find from this package, okay? So the first thing is let's create another class. Suppose we call SM service, okay? And in the SM service, we have a method void send message. How about that? String receiver string message. And system out message yes being sent to receiver class by text message. Okay, MESS. Okay. And now, if at Spring we want to have an instance of this SMS service, original way we did is like this way. We define beans in the configuration file, right? Like this way, bean, define bean. Or in the XML, we define bean in this way, right? And the last way is we add annotation. You can add a component-based annotation on the class. And then tell Spring to scan for that. Spring will create an instance for you. And if you are not familiar with component-based annotations, like a component, annotation, controller, service, repository, and REST controller, if you don't know about them, you can go to the description. I'm gonna put a link to a URL which talk about those annotations. And here it's a service. You can add a service, or for general, we can add a component here, okay? Next one is we create another config. We're using Java classes first, okay? First, since we want to define beans here, it's a configuration, add a configuration. Second one is a component scan. Component scan accept an array of packages. You can add one, you can add multiple. This is packages. Okay. Why do we using component scan here? In this application, it's a small application, right? And we still have one dependency, Spring context. And in Spring context, it has lots of classes. Suppose your project get bigger, you have more and more dependencies. So for every dependency has classes, and also your application has lots of classes. And for Spring, if we don't have a component scan, Spring has to do what? Spring has to scan for all the classes inside this project. But for most of them, they don't need to be scanned because they don't have the component-based annotation on top of those classes, right? So we add the component scan here is to tell Spring, okay, for under this package and its sub-packages, I have some classes, or we have some classes which are annotated with component-based annotations. For those classes, we want Spring to manage the bins for us. Okay, so this can save tons of time. Okay, lots of time when your Spring project start up. Instead of scan for all of them, you just scan these packages here. Okay, and the component scan will scan all the classes under this package, and if those classes under this package is annotated with a component-based annotation, it's gonna create the bins for us. And also, if you have a dependency injection, it will also do the dependency injection for you. Okay. So after this one is done, what we do is in the main, we create my main. Okay, my main. Okay, we should call annotation main. Okay, and here we get the application context using annotation config, and we give my app.class. Okay, so context.getBin. You can using the class. You can also using a name. I think by default name, yes, like this way, SMS. Most of the time, it make the first letter is a lowercase, but I'm not very certain if this way will be the 3 or 4. Otherwise, we can customize, give one name here. Okay, so let's just continue. And for this case, you cannot get a service because by default getBin will return an object. You have to downcasting, or you can using another way. Let me show you. Okay, another this way, another this way, or you can using this way. It will directly give you email service. I will show. I just leave it here to show you. We have different ways to do that. Okay, then we're using SM service dot send message. Test@gmail.com and hi. Okay, so if Spring initialize the bin for us successfully, then you won't get a non-pointer exception, right? Let's run. No bin named SMS. Then it's gonna be this one. Okay, only the first letter. Let's run one more time. Still no. Then what we can do is, since it doesn't like us, let's do this one. SMS service dot class. See, okay. This one is a getBin by type. That one is getBin by name. So this one works, okay. Hi is sent to non-point exception, and let's solve this one, okay, which is SM service, right? Let's try. This one doesn't work, right? I have to check what's the default convention for giving the name. Okay, this one says no bin name with this one, right? And what we can do is here in the component we can explicitly give a name here. Okay, SM service, and run one more time. This one, right? So it's successfully. So if we are not certain about the bin name, then we can explicitly give one. Okay, is explicitly give one, or you can using the type, which is like this one. you can using a type. It will also give you an instance of the SMS service. And we will talk about the auto varying later. And when using type, you can only has one. Okay, so this is different ways you can use. And the next one is suppose you are not using the Java classes, you want using XML. How to do that, right? How to do that? I'm gonna do is I using another one. So previously we manually create. Now no need. What you need to do is add the component scan, but the component scan is in the context, it's not in the beans, so we have to add another namespace. Okay, let me add another namespace here. Okay, it's called the context, and here has to be a context. Okay, and also we have to add a two for this one to find the attribute we can be used. This one is context, this one is context, and also this part is context. Okay, and the next one we can do is here, context component scan. Annotation, same thing. This is exactly same as the annotation component scan. Okay, and the next part we go back to the annotation main. Instead of using the Java config, what we can do is we can using the class XML file. This one is a class path XML context, right? Spring and annotation.xml. Okay, and here after we are done, run. Still successfully. So this is the two ways. Okay, to either using Java classes or using the XML. The only thing you need to do is add the component scan. Okay, after add the component scan, also remember for the classes you want your Spring to be taken care of, add the annotation, add the component-based annotation. Don't forget that. If you forgot, if you don't add this one, you will get a non-point exception because Spring cannot doesn't know. Okay, has no class is being initialized. Okay, you have to add a component-based annotation. See here, you don't have. You must add a component-based annotation and also add a component scan. Okay, that's it for this video. So if you want to have the source code, you can go to the description. I'm gonna have a source code link there. And if you are not familiar with the component-based annotation, you can also go to the description. There's another link for another video for that. Okay, anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next time. Bye bye.